What is an immersive reader using Microsoft Edge plus print-friendly in Chrome? I'm Hewie Poplock. The Immersive Reader is part of Edge. To open Edge, we click the icon and we want to go to a website with an article. Let's just pick this one. You would see this article on a web page. There are featured articles and some other information on the screen, but we're only interested in the article. And what we want to do is open up the Immersive Reader, which is part of Microsoft Edge. And we do that by coming up to the address bar, and we have a small icon here. We can either click this or just click the F9 key, and it will open up the Immersive Reader with that article. All we see is any of the article and any graphics that are included in the article. Now, there are several things that we can do in the Immersive Reader. We can read aloud, we can look at text preferences, we can adjust the grammar tools and reading preferences. We're going to look at each one of those. To read aloud, you just click Read Aloud.
How to test a microphone on Windows 11. How to. By Ben Stockton. Last updated on May 9th, 2022.
Now I stopped it. You could continue on. When you're listening,
are you having trouble with your mic on Windows 11?
You can click this icon right here
users are more
and go to the next paragraph.
These apps are only as good as the hardware you're using. However, you may need to adjust.
Now there are several voices that you can use to listen to the read aloud. We're using Microsoft Area Online Natural, and it's English, but you'll see, and that's United States. You can have English Canada, you can have English South Africa, and you can have many other languages as well, but it doesn't translate. It's only doing it in that accent. Now, you can also change the speed. You can make it faster, you can make it slower. So if it's reading too slow for you and you want to just speed it up and listen to it, you can, or if you want to listen very carefully, one word at a time, you can slow it down just by using the slide bar. And as an example, we'll continue here.
Adjust your microphone settings for your environment and get it ready to speak with friends, family, and colleagues.
Most of us seniors, that would be difficult to understand, so we would want it on normal and maybe even slower. To shut off the read aloud options, you just click the little X here, and it gives you back that menu. Under text preferences, we have several choices here. One, you can make it much larger or smaller. Let's do smaller first because we're going to not use that. But if we wanted to go to larger, you can go to very large and really see the information. Let's keep it just above medium so it's large enough for you to see on the screen. Now you can change the spacing as well. So let's take where there's a couple of paragraphs here where you can see it a little bit easier. And we'll click text spacing and it'll give you more spacing between the words. You can also change the font. There's only 3 choices, but you can change it to Calibri, Sitka, or Comic Sans. You can also vary the width of the column. This is what it's at now. We can make it wider, and we can make it the widest. And you can have themes, so you can have it look different. Right now it's on this one. If we look at more themes, we can come down and we can have it various colors for whatever reason that we might want to have that. So those are the text preferences that you can have. Next are the grammar tools. Let's take a look. We can divide the words into syllables with a little dot between the syllables. We can also highlight different parts of speech using different colors. And you can change those colors, by the way, but right now it's purple for nouns. So if we click on nouns, you will see all of the nouns, and we have the show labels. If you don't want to show the labels, you can turn that off. The nouns still will have a purple color to them. If you want to add the verbs to them, which is a red, you will see that. And again, if you want to show the labels, you will see both the N and the V for the different parts of speech. You can also add adjectives and adverbs. The Immersive Reader reading preferences gives you some line focus, for instance. If you turn that on, you will see one line at a time. You can change that to 3 lines. Let's move that down so you can see what we're talking about, or 5 lines. There's also something called a picture dictionary. If it's turned on, and in this case it is, you can come down and look at different words, and when you do, you'll see like a magic wand. When you click that wand, it'll show you a meaning of the word in picture form. So as we come down to something else, like mic, it'll show you a picture of a mic. A radio, you'll see a picture of a radio. You can translate, but let's take Spanish, for instance. There is a button here that will say translate entire page. It does it that quickly. Of course, the graphics won't change. The article is now in Spanish, where we just turn the translate off. If you're in the Immersive Reader and you wish to print the article in this format, you come up to the 3-dot menu and come down to print. It will open the print dialog box. You'll see what the article will look like if you print it to your local printer. All I would have to do is come down here and click print, and it will print it out. What if I want to save it as a PDF? If you click this box and choose your printer, you will also see that Microsoft has a print to PDF. When I click on that, instead of printing to the printer, it's going to print to a file with a PDF extension. It'll be able to be read by a PDF reader. You'll see here it says Microsoft Print to PDF. When I click print, it doesn't print. It opens up a dialog box in order for me to save to a folder. Right now we're going to save it to the desktop. We're going to call it Immersive Reader, and we'll save it. Now when we go to our desktop, we will see that we have an Immersive Reader file, and when we double click it, it opens in our default PDF reader. You can now open it, print it, do whatever else you would do with a PDF file. This is the same web page on my Chrome browser. It doesn't have the Immersive Reader. Ron told me about an extension called Immersive Reader that I could add to Chrome, and when I did, it didn't work. It does for him, but for whatever reason I couldn't make it work. So I'm not showing you that. But what I do use in Chrome is something called Print Friendly and PDF. And you'll see that I am pointing to it. I have it as an extension. I've added it to my Chrome browser. When I click it, it shows me the same article with all of the extras removed, very similar to the Immersive Reader, but there's fewer things that you can do with it. But you can print directly from it. You can save it as a PDF and it will download, and you can email it to somebody. You can change the size of the font, but let's move this up a little bit. But when you do, you only have the choice of, you can make it smaller or you can make it up to 130%, and that's it. You can't make it any larger than that. And you can make any picture smaller. So if you wanted to make that picture smaller, you could. Pretty much what you can do with Print Friendly, but the ability to print directly from it or make a PDF from it, Immersive Reader in Edge, you have to go out and go to your print or PDF programs. What is an Immersive Reader? I'm Hewie Poplock.